I am Carol, the owner and creator of things at CarolJo's, which is where community and creativity come together. I'm just laughing because I think there's a new SpongeBob. I put it as my goal for the the goal on TikTok for coins. I don't expect anybody to do it. I just had to put it out there because it's a new SpongeBob. I don't remember seeing that one before. So I'm laughing at it. So sorry. And I'm also opening a bag at the same time, so it's kind of noisy. Sorry. All right. I'm putting bags in my containers because I need to do that. Ugh. All right, I'll explain. What do we do here at CarolJo's? We do a little bit of everything here. We are not just about me showing you the jewelry. You can have a question. It's chat time there, Nordic Luna. It's not about me just showing you the jewelry that I've created. It is about community and about creativity. So what that means is that twice a week we have tutorials. This week our tutorials are tonight at 8 p.m. and Wednesday at 2 p.m. Tonight we are going to learn, it's called Whisper Suede Choker. It is a faux suede, and I have this in lots of different colors, and then you make it into a choker with a piece of chain to make it adjustable in length. Wednesdays is called something fringe. Why can't I remember the name of it all of a sudden? Hold on, let me go look at it. And when I show you, there are so many things that you can do with this. So hold on while I go get what the name of this is, and then I'll show it to y'all. It is called Soft Sway Fringe Earrings. So this is what they are. I'm going to show, there you go on YouTube, and here you go on TikTok. What we are using this week is we are going to use, we talked about these last week, and they are the ribbon crimp, or the ribbon end crimps. So we're going to show you how to use those in 2 different ways this next week, or this week. So tonight is the necklace at 8 p.m. Wednesday is the earrings at 2 p.m. We also have chat times twice a week. Hi there, Sweetheart Strings, which is what we're doing right now. We're having our chat time, and then we'll have it on Wednesday, or no, Friday at 2 p.m. Sorry, Friday at 2 p.m. Hi, Maria. So, yep, because I will not be live tomorrow night, I will not be live Thursday night, and I will not be live Friday night. So we had a little bit of a change up in the schedule, and I have to remember that. We do live events throughout the week. We have the bead events, which is items that we have in the tutorials. They'll be up for claiming on the live events that are called bead events. We have a new event this week, and it is called Encore Event. Encore Event is item we are going to bring back around. Doesn't matter where it started from or where it ended at. It's just that we've shown it somehow, some way once before, and it's coming back. So that is what Encore is about. We used to have events called Bring Back, and we used to have events called Basket Sale. We no longer are going to have them. We're just going to call them Encore events. All right. And I don't know that I saw. Hi, Geraldine. I didn't see the question. I'm going back to make sure. Did I miss the question? So during chat time, nope, I don't see it. During chat time is your time. I can't. Okay. The reason why I can't is because they're not going to fit inside there very easily. And I would have to open the bags twice then. I know that sounds really weird to say, or I might not, because sometimes I get the bags already done, and sometimes I do them, and I don't know what I'm stickering them on there until I go to the day that I'm going to do it. It's not that I wouldn't want to. Hi, Amy. it is just, it would be a difficult thing. Because then when I would want to, and when I went to go scan it, it wouldn't be on the outside. I'd have to take them out again. Yeah, I know. It's part of being, of the process. So, and I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys. Sometimes some of my vendors that I utilize will break things down into smaller for me, and sometimes they don't. Hello on YouTube. I'm sorry, I just don't know how to pronounce your name. Yep, and I get that too. So, I get that too. Because I end up, I know, and for me personally, when I did them on my containers here, I wrote them on a piece of paper. I have a certain thing that I have, a form that I fill, or that I have for everything, and I would write them on there just so I'd have them consistent. And you know what? Sometimes you write a typo, so I get it. I totally get it. Thanks so much, Lori, for the heart me. So, but what chat time is? It's a time where we share tips and tricks with each other. It is a time for us to share our questions so that as a community, we can answer those questions. So that is what we do here during chat time. We also, on Mondays, we spend some time talking about the quote that I put up for the week. And this week's quote is, don't be afraid to sparkle a little brighter. That's what it is. It's a very simple, short one, but I'm like, I had to find it in my words here. It's don't be afraid to sparkle a little brighter. And what that means to me anyways, and I want to hear what you guys think when you hear that. For me, it is about just the little bit you make a difference. You literally can make a difference just by your sparkle is showing up. It is being a part of something. It doesn't mean that you can do your creations and that is your sparkle. But it's just about being a part like of our community here or of something. Just by doing that, you can, hi Rose, you will brighten someone's day. You may not know it, but you do. And that's the thing that we all need to realize. You're in Turkey, okay. Hello from in Turkey. I am in the US. I live in it's not like small state, but it's a small populated state in the US. So most people don't even know where it's at. Honestly, I just got to ask this question now that, we've got somebody from Turkey over here on YouTube. That's exactly it, sweetheart strings. Your personality sparkles someone's day. Did anybody, even in the US, I totally get it. Do you guys know where, before you knew and talked to me, did you guys have any idea where South Dakota was even at? Because in all honesty, I think it's one of those states that people are like, it's somewhere over here. They may not know. There's a few that would. Hey, Rainbow, how are you doing? I was going to say, Ashley would be one that would. And Lori, because we're very close to each other. In the middle of somewhere. It is. It is in the middle of, and the thing, you're welcome. The thing is that we get mixed up with North Dakota a lot. A lot. In the Arctic blast, yeah. Yesterday was really cold here. Very, 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 very cold. And we had to go out. My only time that I went out was that we had to take, hi Teresa. we had to take Buttercup to cheer practice. I know what you meant though. And that made it really cold. I just looked at my husband and I'm like, do we have to? Can someone? I was like, I wanted to say, can you just take her? But that wouldn't be very kind. So it was awful. The wind was awful here. But, and then, okay. Does anybody know the answer to this? Because I looked at, all I know is that it got warmer as the night went on when we were outside. Thank you, Tina, for the follow. So we left our house, went into town so that we could take Buttercup to it. As we were driving into town, it got warmer. We are a few miles from town, but not like where it should make that much of a difference. And by the time we left town and got back home, we're talking, it went up like over 10 degrees in like a 45-minute period. And I'm like, good. I'm glad to hear that, Teresa. I'm sorry, I was reading that. But he goes, the wind is from the south. And I go, and that means, does anybody besides, now that he told me, know what the heck that even means? I had no idea whatsoever. Hello, Preppy. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Thank you for saying that, because I had no clue. And he gives me, yep, warm wind from the south. It is warm wind from the south. And I had no idea. I'm like, I don't know. Seriously, I'm not a weather person. Yep. And so that's how come it got warmer as the day went on. So as the night in a 45-minute. And like today, it's like 30 some degrees warmer than it was yesterday. And then tomorrow is supposed to be another 10 degrees. So we're going to be in the 40s tomorrow. Woohoo! So for those of you not in the US, that's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Jeez. Okay, Nordic Luna, we must be passing you our cold weather. I know. I'm like, I didn't go to school for weather. Well, our southern wind is warming us up. So what I'm working on as we are talking here is that part of what I want to do for this week for our bead events is, oh, we're getting out of the 20s today. We weren't even in the 20s all weekend. It was cold. This chain, I have these ribbon ends in different metals. And this is the only size I have in stock right now is this one. So those will be up for claims on Saturday. Along with, I'm going to bring in the faux suede that we've had before. I'm going to bring that back on Saturday. I know it's not an encore, but it is part of what we're doing here. And it will take a little bit longer to get through that than just an hour with everything else. So Saturday will be the cord and then different chain. I'm going to bring one of the chains to Wednesday night's bead event. And this is going to be Wednesday night's bead event chain. I already have Tuesday's encore items all ready to go. They're sitting over here. We have some red glass beads. We have like 2 or 3. Hi, Beads. Hi, Gladys. I will have glass pearls. A few, like, I think I have 3 different glass pearls in there, I think. And those are on the Encore. So if you guys have questions about what the Encore is about, there is a video out there, but if you have questions, ask them here and I can help you answer those questions, okay? So we'll have the Encore event tomorrow at 2 p.m. No live tomorrow night. And then and if you guys like the gold, we're going to have like between 90 and 100 bags of this one available. We also, some of us talked about what we're headed towards for next year on the chat last week on Friday. And so I am working on the 15 millimeter solid colors and getting those ready to go to what a spider makes. Does that make sense? We talked about using that. A spider makes a so we'll get them out there. I just need Amanda to come and take a whole bunch of pictures. If I can get everything ready and just get them ready, and then once we get everything ready, then we can Charlotte. I love it. Hi, Joey. But that's where everything's going to be at some point. Awesome to hear beads. And Ryan and I are talking about the shelving units that I want. The one that I got, I love how it works. I love how it's put together. Ryan hates putting them together. And he has one more to put together for me. He was supposed to do it yesterday, but he ended up taking a nap most of the day. And the reason being is that oh, that'll be nice. That'll be fun, Ducky. They are solid shelves, and with the solid shelves, then you have to screw in 4 nuts and bolts on each one of those. And my husband's fingers are too big for where you need to put the bolt in it, or the nut part in that. So he wasn't too happy on that, which I get, because I was even trying to help him, and I have small hands, and it was hard for me even. And I'm thinking, oh dear Lord, how was he even getting his hand even halfway in there? And he was struggling. So he wants like the wire ones where they have wires in them instead of a solid shelf, which those will work fine for what I need. But trying to find those at a price point, I told him it's actually less expensive to go with a solid shelf. Oh. So yeah. You know, I will tell you guys, putting up a tree with someone else, because that's what Ducky is going to go watch tonight, I have a hard time doing it. All honesty. Because I am, I sit there and I'm like, ooh, that should have this type of ornament there, and this one should have this ornament there, and ooh, we got too much of that color there. That if family members are going to put up the Christmas tree, I can't be there until it's all done, and then I just have to let it go. You sure can, beads. This is the one. It's a textured gold one. So I don't know how much this one will be, Robin, until Wednesday. I will probably have it tomorrow, but I don't have it yet. I'm pulling the items that I'm going to have for Wednesday night's bead event. And then once I get those pulled, I can let you guys know what we're going to have. And then I can tell you about how much this one will be. Nope. Nope, it's not for today. What it is that it's part of, I have this one and I have one other one that I will bring on Saturday, but it's to allow you to do this because I've already done the silver and the black. I was going to say, I don't do much decorating for Christmas. We put up the Christmas tree and that's it. Buttercup wants presents underneath the tree right now. All weekend she was begging me to have, and I'm like, nope, nope, nope. But I gotta text or call Ryan here before he gets off work. So we had, yep. I didn't even adjust anything. I let her do it. Oh, you poor thing, Ducky. She put it all together. But last night, Buttercup lost a tooth. She's been working on it. She will probably tell you guys about it tonight. Oh, geez. Oh my gosh, Ashley, that would be like, ah. And so I told her, hey, remember the tooth fairy likes it on the kitchen sink, or not the kitchen sink, on the bathroom sink. She's like, no, I've always done it. And I'm like, no. You can ask a curious question, Ducky. But she woke up this morning. She goes, the tooth fairy didn't come. And I go, don't you remember? The tooth fairy said it's very difficult if you put it where you normally put it, that she's going to wake you up. I go, she wrote you a letter, remember? And she's like, I don't remember the letter. So I know we kept the letter. So I got to go find the letter. So that she can know that the tooth fairy wants it left so they can get in there and not wake her up. And I said, where did you put it? And she goes, oh, I moved it to this location. And I go, and how's the tooth fairy supposed to know you moved it? She put it on a different area of her room. Hey. Oh. So when I was gonna say, before I met Ryan, I did. I totally did, Robin. No, I don't think so, Ducky. Let me look. Okay. Oh, ours is a value of 2. A value of 2 is our going rate here. I don't know about the rest of you, but that's... My husband goes, are you kidding? And I'm like, why? He's like, I got a quarter. Buttercup is like, well, you're old, Opa. I'm like, usually she's calling me old, but she called him old on that one. I got a quarter. So did Ryan. Well, and I was thinking that they would, because when Val had to get a whole bunch of orthodontic work done, woohoo, there you go. Val had to have a whole bunch of teeth pulled, but their orthodontic works plan and everything started at 6. Whereas Courtney's orthodontic work started at 11 or 12. I'm thinking 11. Okay, if Val was, no, 12. I just had to think about the ages. So Val was 6 and Courtney was 12 when orthodontic work started for my kids. Buttercup is 9 and it started for her. So I was thinking, oh, do we have to have teeth pulled? Nope. We're just going to do it in steps now. We do one now and one in 2 years after all of her teeth are out. But when my kids, before we moved in with Ryan, I used to put my tree up the Friday after Thanksgiving because I had the house to myself. I could put the tree up by myself. And then I did that. And then when I moved in with Ryan, our old house didn't have the space to have the tree up the whole year. We had a really small house. We needed like Stacy's size tree, that little one. We did, for Val's jaws were not big enough for all of their adult teeth, like you're talking about there, Robin. So they put in a thing called a herpes appliance. And it is, it goes onto the jaw bones and you put it on when they're in a growth spurt and it moves their jaws out as it grows so that it'll move out or out to where it needs to be so that you don't have to do any pulling of adult teeth or you don't have to break the jaw. Yeah. So we did that for Val. That's why we knew going up. Whoa, no way. That would have been cool. Oh, Ducky, I love it. So what I did in our old house, because we didn't have enough room in our living room for the full tree, we had a patio door and we just closed the curtain, you know, for the blinds to the patio door. We put up half the tree and we put weights on it so that it wouldn't tip over. And the thing is, nobody figured it out for a few years that it was half a tree. Nobody realized we only had half the tree up. I was going to say, Val didn't wear the retainer. Courtney wore her retainer religiously. And she, because of having the braces, her wisdom teeth came in just fine. And if we pulled her wisdom teeth when they came in, like they usually like to do, all of the work that we did for her orthodontics would be for naught. And they just said you have to like really, really brush back there. And let me tell you, that child brushes her teeth. So the number on the bottom of the label that you're talking about, Nordic Luna, that is my SKU. And that is only for me. It isn't for somebody else. And so really what it is, I will tell you how I came up with my SKU numbers and how I keep everything so I know how about it. If you look at it, it is the year and then the Julian date for the day of the year that we had the event. and then the number of the item in the event. That's how, if I'm not doing a restock, I can tell you exactly what our numbers are and show you the numbers. That is the SKU system that I use. There's nothing fancy about it, but it'll tell you, like, but the one thing I want you to realize is that the SKU is the first time I showed it. If we have a restock, it uses the same SKU because I want them all together. And it just means I got more in at a later date, but I'm not renumbering it. Does that make sense? So it's not always like, oh, that item is from back in that date. No, it's not always. It just means that's the first time I got it in. Yep. Yep, you are correct, Ashley. If you want to know if we have it, yep, that's it. And when we go to, as Ducky said, Charlotte's area, then I haven't tried it in the search function, but that is something that I will look at and see if I can do it, okay? I can pull them up on my search, but I have admin rights. But I think it will work. So, yep. So if you wanted to see if we still have it, you can probably do that. So, yep. So you'll notice it's like the description of the item, and depending on how I enter it into the system, will make a difference on what you're going to see there at the top. So I usually do it by the item number, unless I'm doing an item like, I was going to say hello everybody on TikTok or on YouTube. But the 15 millimeter silicone rounds, I'm doing good. How about you? It'll say the color 15 millimeter round silicone, and then it will have on there, do you want a 5-pack or a 20-pack if they're available? Okay. And so so you'll see on the sticker that it'll have the color. This is where I'm going to. And it will have on the sticker all of that information. Instead of like right now where I usually put all of the 15 millimeter silicones in a bag together, going forward, they're going to each have their own SKU on the bag. And then they'll have their own barcode too. Hey, Ash, can you possibly go over to YouTube? Thank you. So that's what I'm hoping, and we can talk. That was a great question, Nordic Luna. Hello, Lori. Thank you. Okay, I won't say anything. So yeah, but I have a lot. I have right now, yep, so you will be able to. So what's going to happen? I'm going to explain a little bit more about it, and we'll keep explaining it as we go. Thank you for the heart me there, Rose. What's going to happen is we're still going to have like our Tuesday nights when we do Tuesday night beat event. I will show you all of the items. And then I will create what is called a collection on my Charlotte's, you know. And so what happens is that in that collection, I will label it with the date so that you guys can know, and it'll say the date beat event. And if I had 20 items that day, you will find all 20 there from that live event. And then you can go in there and put whatever you want in your cart. I can't say that word. In the buggy. How about that? We'll say buggy. And then you will be able to take care of it at any time that you would like. Does that make sense? And then once we get it, I'm still going to have the encore event. What I can do is I can, and I've got, this is the part I still have to figure out. The system I use, you can have like things flip from what they call a draft mode into an active mode. And in that, yep, I will, that's fine. We'll get you, Robin. We'll keep talking about this. We're not going to go and flip this over until sometime. We're going to talk about it for at least a month before we turn over to this, okay? I just want to prepare you guys for it and hope to have all the questions answered so that when we do it, it's okay. So the system I use has what they have as a timer. I can set a date and a time for something, and it can be set as a draft. And once it hits that time and date, it switches it to active. So I don't have to hopefully go in before the live or anything and change anything. It'll just happen automatically. I don't plan to be there are people that like take down their website or make it so that you can't, oh, I said the wrong word. Oh, well. But you can't do anything or put anything in your buggy until their launch. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want it just to stay out there, that type of thing. And so when our event happens, it's available and you can go in and you can look at them and I'm going to show them to you so that you guys can see them rather than just a picture. And we can talk about it and we can talk about how you might want to use it. So it's going to be more informative than about claiming. Does that help out? And then you guys get to decide what you put in there. You know, and it takes all of me being in the middle of all of that out of the equation. And then once and why I'm just going to show it. I'm not going to do any packaging right away on the live events. And the reason being is that in this room, I do not have enough. Nope, you don't claim online anymore. You will just do it on CarolJo's, the www. And I'll put up a video when we get closer to it on how it all works, okay? And then you literally just go there and take care of it just like you do for anybody else that you do online. I just got to be careful. We do all kinds of stuff here, Half Pint. We talk about jewelry making, running a small business, share our tips and tricks with each other. We do tutorials. And then when we have our live events, that is for the items that we have up for grabs on that we've used in the tutorial or other items too. When will I start doing that? It will be in probably end of January, beginning of February at the earliest. I just want to give you guys a heads up that this is coming, okay? I know I'm talking about it like 6 weeks in advance, but I would rather you guys know about it and we can iron out any of the details type scenario. Because if you notice right now, all by putting when I can do that, Rose, yes. Hi Mia. So right now I know that 6 weeks away for that. Yep, that's what I want to do. And okay, so think of it this way. Instead of you claiming, you just put it in the buggy. And when you do that, and then once you, I'm just going to use the word, hopefully it doesn't get into any issues. Once you check out, that's when you know. Because if it was empty before you checked out, when you go to check out, you will get a message. But the thing to be thinking about is that I have been prepping for this, thinking about this and such for a very long time, that the quantities are going to be larger. So I have, nope, you don't claim. No more claiming. You'll do it at the same time as live. Yes, you can. Yep, I'll be doing lots of lives. I think it'll be what I want to have happen more, and what I want to do is I like tonight's necklace, this one here. I have like 3 ideas for this. Yep. However you want to do that. Yep. So like here, I have 3 ideas I want to show tonight in an hour. And I don't know if I can get that done in an hour and explain it all. And so what I want us to do is that while we have lives, I can be showing you like ideas of how to use it. And we can do more tutorials that would be, instead of spending, this is where I'm really coming from, is I spend prepping for our lives anywhere from 4 hours to 12 hours for each of the lives for an event. I'm finding that if I can just go in and just load everything up and create the stickers right away that I put on them, I'm hoping to cut that time in half. So that means I could be live more and showing you more ideas. I will have to at the back end, the time that I take to do your lists will be, I'm hoping, about the same time as creating your packages. Instead of creating lists, I'm creating your package right away. So that's what I'm hoping for with all this, is that I can spend more time showing you ideas. Because in all honesty, I really, truly love showing you guys different tutorials, different thoughts of how to use these items. So even for the earrings, I had 2 different things that I wanted to do, but I only have time to do one. No, it does not take away from the inventory, Lori. So if you're holding to get to the 50, items may be empty. But the thing is that right now, instead of 20 strands of things, I am ordering 30 to 40 or 50. So that we don't get into that issue. That's what I'm hoping for. We're going to play this by ear, see if the quantities are correct or not. Do I need to do more? Do I need to do less? It's going to be a learning curve for the month of February, but I hope that helps that so that you guys don't. I know there are a lot of you that like to hold, and I totally get that. And that was one of the things that was a holdback for me on doing this. I have been thinking about doing this for about 6 months now, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. Yeah, I know. And the thing is that I also want, and this was a comment that someone made when I talked about this like a year ago. And they were like, but then I forget about everything else that's out there. And that's where we're going to do a lot of encores and show you guys different things that are out there that are still available, even if it's only one type thing. But it's just like when we do what we're calling the encore events now, it's like, that's a first in, first out type thing. But the bead events, I'm trying to make sure that we have enough available. Yep, I'm going to show you all of that. I'm not taking away from that at all. Because to me, that's part of like, we could have it out there, but we're not talking about it here. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I want to be able to say this will be on Wednesday night. So if this were exactly like what we're going to do for Wednesday night, I would be like, hey, if you go in there, you will see underneath that, you might have to look through the 20 things. They will be on like a grid like pattern on the www, and I can show you here, and you could be like, okay, that's what I want, and then you go find it on the grid and put it in your buggy. I sound like I'm from the South because I don't know. Can anybody from the South tell me, do you guys, when you go shopping, do you call it a C word or do you call it a buggy? Because I've been watching repeats on YouTube, repeats of the coupon show. Okay, that's what I call it too. And they, a lot of them in the South, when they're at the stores, are calling it a buggy. And I'm like, that's not a buggy. Yep, you got it. Everything will be in the, you'll be able to see everything that's out there. And I'm trying to come up with good ways that make it so the list doesn't get overly long. But yet you can get to it quickly. You can only go like 3 deep type thing, I think it is, or 2 deep. 3 deep is what it is. So what it'll be is that you can use the search to find things. You might get some of the jewelry that I have out there that used a crackle bead in it, or you will get a list of all the crackle beads that are still up for grabs. Sorry, I have to sit here and think about my words before I say them all. And I will check to see if you can go in and put those in there. Bead soup, yep. Instead, I will probably just do creative credits, and they will be codes that I will send to you after the live. A lot of people, I notice, send it in the order or in the package. And I think part of it is the marketing aspect of it, of that then you can use it, you take care of this one, then I put it in there and you get it. So then it's an incentive to do it again. And that's one thing I don't think I have a problem. Yep, your next visit. And I don't think I'm going to have that problem at all, that I need you guys to come back to visit. Literally. And so I don't like that idea of putting it in there. So it might be that I just send it to you after the lives. And then you can decide, do I want to wait for it or do I want to take care of it now and use it next time? The one thing I got to figure out on that is how many you can use together. Because there are limitations on that within shop. I can't say that word. Within the system. I'll use that word. But I'm still figuring that part out. Like, can I do up to 5 type thing? But I can also, because I thought about this too, there are ways that if you're a super fan, I can create things that will automatically happen when you take care of your little buggy. And that will, yep. Oh, yay, Rose. Woohoo. And, I can put in names that are a part of that so that you guys can get those for our super fans. So anybody who's a super fan, I can put your name into a code and give you the code, and then you can use it. So yeah, I mean, I've got that part figured out. I just got to figure out how many you can use together. Because I don't want to take that away from you guys. Hi, Regina. How are you? Superfan, I will still show all the items. And I can do what we would do for percentage off for those that are doing that. Does that help answer that one, Ashley? Hi, Everett. I know it's not Everett, but it's not coming to me. Okay, I will see if I can find more, but oh, it is Everett. Oh, okay. Oh no, that was Ashley. Okay. Okay, got it. Those red velvet hearts were part of the Hagar estate, and I am looking for more, just to let you know. Okay, God, Ashley's comment. Yay. While we've been on our chat, I got done. These come in, sometimes they will come depending on how large the chain is, the links. I can sometimes get them on the spools here. These spools can be anywhere from 50 to 100 meters. And I ordered 100 meters, but they gave me 2 spools. So I got 1 spool done. And I'm starting on the second one. Woohoo! I know it sounds really weird, but this is what I sit here and do behind the scenes, y'all. Is I, like where I'm talking here with you guys, I am putting these into smaller bags. I'm glad you guys are asking questions. And if you think of more questions, always know we will have chat time again on Friday at 2 p.m. We haven't had a chat in the evening because of not having Friday live events and such. But I'm hoping not like the week. Oh, we're going to keep repeating it there, Robin. And as always, you can always watch the replay. But we will continuously talk about this. We'll spend more time the week after Christmas talking about this more. We will see about getting a video created to help out with any questions that you guys might have before then. What do you mean by that, Miss Rose? The moonstone is gorgeous. I think I'm done with them all, but I got to double check. Oh, yeah, they are shorter. Yes, they are. That is true. And that's why I say how many beads approximately are on each strand. Because I'm finding out as the economy has changed, the lengths of the strands are different. And I don't know how else to explain it. Like to you guys when we're going through the event. Does that make sense? So that's why you will always see that I'm usually telling you a thing. Yep. And it's just because of as the economy has changed, I have noticed prices aren't changing. Oh, I said a word I wasn't supposed to say, darn it. The value hasn't been changing as much as the links. Yay, everybody's getting their packages today. That's exciting bead day. Bead mail. And all I have to say is, Geraldine, sorry. You have packages. Oh. Yep, you can tell that too. The fire brick glass pearls, yes, they have that cinnabar color to them. You're getting two. Oh, cool. I like those ideas. So we were trying to figure this out with Buttercup. She has been wanting, we're figuring out her little love language. After you know, all this time, we're finally figuring it out. She loves to gift. She's a gifter. Woohoo! I'm gonna talk about the wallets here in a moment too, Rose. She is a gifter. So we went on Saturday. She was like, "Can we please go and can we go get some gifts for her mom, and two of her friends?" And I'm thinking, what about the other friends? And I, in the middle of shopping, I'm like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. Because I was trying to like keep her in line about how much she was spending. And I came back and I didn't realize her and Opa put a whole bunch of stuff in the cart for her to gift. And nobody kept track of the total. And then when I went to pay, I'm like, holy crap, really? I'm like, what the heck just happened? Well, then I figured it out. And I'm like, okay, we got a budget. We have this B word in our household. We got to live by. And then Buttercup was like, but how do I even give anything to my friends that I still have to buy for? And I'm like, we're going to figure this out, but we're going to stick to the budget. And she's like, but I still need to buy for Auntie Jeannie. And I'm like, okay. And I was talking to my sister about this, and she's like, hello, turquoise for me. And I'm like, oh, thank gosh. I won't have to buy her a gift. We're just going to make her something from Buttercup in turquoise. So I'm like, how did I forget that we have all this behind me that she could make for her friends? Hello. So we'll see if we can do for some of the other friends and her teacher and stuff. Let's make something. And like add it to something that we buy so that it's not adding up. I mean, I'm proud of her wanting to do it, but I'm like, honey, the Oma's not made of like a money tree. I mean, we're talking at the end, it was like $40 for each of her friends. I was like, that's a little bit more than I was wanting to spend for each friend. Exactly. And I looked at Ryan and I'm like, and you weren't watching the price? And he's like, no. He's like, it's not a big deal. But the wallets, just to let everybody know, with the wallets, we will have, so when I originally did the first one that we did like a week ago Wednesday or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was a Wednesday night. Yeah. Oh golly, I missed that. And so the butterfly ones, I did 30 of each. That was nowhere near enough, is what I saw on that live claim. So some of them in the restock, we're gonna have like of the butterflies, there's gonna be 75 of those. The bee one, the yellow with the bee, there's gonna be 75 of that one. There are probably about 10 different animal prints, and I didn't know if I needed that many of each. So some of them will be 50 and some will be 30, but we will have a huge amount of stock, and we have lots of new prints coming too. So I just want to make you aware. Hopefully we won't have what happened that night where I feel bad about not having the right quantity. But I honestly was totally blown away by the support for that. And I truly was. There's cheetah and leopard, and they're small, medium, and large. There are 2 florals that are daisies. And yes, it is. And then there is a peachy color solid that we didn't have before. There's like a denim looking one we're going to have. A couple other florals that we'll have. Woohoo! There you go, Robin. Hey, guess where we're at too? We hit 10K. Yes, I will have 75 of the sunflowers. Let me roll this one up, and then I'm going to grab a thing and we'll do a color. I got to think of a color here. So yeah, so we will have lots. I just didn't buy any of the snake print at all. All right, we've got to think of a color. Oh. This is a 2-word color, everybody. 2-word color. It gave me the first word, and I'm like, oh, if I add the second word, it's a color. When you play this game, you're supposed to draw something with it. Ah, thanks, Rose. Awesome. I didn't mean for anybody. I just was like, oh, they have a different SpongeBob-y one. I don't know. I'm hoping we'll get to go to the movie this weekend, but it's Courtney's 30th, so we got to go out to supper with her. Late lunch, early supper type thing. It's the milestone week coming up, everybody. Saturday, 30th for one kid, and then a week from Friday, so 6 days later, Ryan turns 50. Ooh, I know what I can do. I just had a thought about, like, if you have multiples of the creative credits, I could take away the one code and create a new code with the new amount. Just got it in my head. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a clue. This grows on a tree on tropical islands for the first word. And then the second word is a color. There we go. Someone got it. Let's see. Rose, you're going to have 5 creative credits. So congratulations. Someone else guessed it. It was coconut brown. There we go. So Rose, I will take care of that for you after we get off the live. I stayed on a little bit longer so that we could do that. Oh, it was Geraldine was the other one. All right. I got through partway through this one. I'll get this one done yet this afternoon before Buttercup gets off of the bus. So then we'll have one more thing done. See, this is where I was talking about Nordic Luna. Right now I put this in there. And then when I get it all ready, I will get that on there. Okay. Everybody, I will be back 8 p.m. We are going to do the Whisper Suede Choker, where we are going to use how to use those ribbon end crimps with just a piece of suede, faux suede, and then we're going to have a piece of chain to make it so it's adjustable in length. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to jazz it up. All right. So we'll see you all at 8 p.m. Central. Bye. Thanks, Ashley, for dropping over to here to YouTube for me. I appreciate it.